What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Cjthecheesedj here, and we are back with a brand new video for you guys today. And today we'll be taking a look at top 5 weapons you guys should be using in Apex Legends. Now, this list is heavily based off my opinion and my interaction with the game and the weapons found through the game, but as well as that, it's also what I've seen other players using. Normally when an enemy player gets killed, or any player in general gets killed, you can normally see what sort of gun it is in the top right hand corner. Now, from this, I've pretty much been able to determine what most people are using, and that has also helped me come up with this list. But do take into mind, it is heavily influenced by my opinion. So guys, without further ado, let's jump straight into it and take a look at the top 5 guns you guys should be using in Apex Legends. Alrighty guys, now coming in at number 5, we have none other than the Prowler. The Prowler, in my opinion, is an absolutely ecstatic weapon. You can see here just the amount of firepower it gives you. Now, do take note, this is only when you've got the full auto receiver attached to the Prowler. But you can see, when you actually get the auto receiver attached, you just empty bullets like no tomorrow. And because they're heavy bullets, they actually deal quite a lot more damage than your basic SMG weapons that use the light ammo do. And you can see here, we just pretty much shredded this enemy team with our Prowler with the full auto receiver. As long as we're able to hit our shots, you can actually deal some insane amount of damage. Now, as well as this, you can also get extended mags for it, really good scopes, really good stocks as well for it, which also really plays a difference in maintaining that stable fluid motion of shooting throughout the game. You can see in this clip that our teammates are still looking for the enemy that we were fighting, but because I had the Prowler on me and because of its destructive capabilities and how fast it fires, we managed to obliterate them off the planet, and our teammates are wondering whether they managed to escape or whether they died. They can't figure it out because we just tore them a new butthole with our Prowler. If you do plan on using the Prowler, is to make sure you use the full auto receiver, because that will definitely heighten the power of the Prowler. Now, the gun coming in at number 4 is none other than the Wingman. The Wingman is an absolute powerhouse of a weapon. It is only a handgun, but you can see here the destructive capabilities of it. We were hitting for 45 at range. That wasn't being a headshot or with the modified skull piercer rifling bit. That is a huge amount of damage. You can see the range here that we've got on the Wingman as well. We are being rather accurate with it, which is definitely saying something considering how inaccurate I am with my weapon shots. The Wingman is an absolutely amazing weapon, and it deals 45 damage per pop. Now, that isn't with a headshot or with the skull piercer rifling ability, which can make a significant impact if you do have that. I'm pretty sure you hit for 90 damage with a headshot and the skull piercer rifling. You can see there, look how quickly we just tore through that guy's armor and his health. We've just taken out 2 of the enemy squad by ourselves. Well, by ourselves until our teammate decided to try and leech off us. You can see here, look at that. Just like that, we've managed to take out both of the squad. We barely took any damage ourselves. The range on this gun is absolutely incredible. You can equip 1x, 2x scopes on it, as well as equipping extended mags, which definitely help, because extended mags on the Wingman allow you to get a maximum of shots of 12 out. You can see here that we've got 12 shots in, and the only reason we lose this fight is because we get snuck up behind us. But other than that, we just like tore that guy. Like, these guys are using machine guns, submachine guns, and we're still managing to take them out, which is definitely saying something about the Wingman's stopping power. It's incredible, and I would definitely recommend to get the skull piercer rifling and aim for those headshots, because that is where your serious damage is going to come in. Now, the weapon coming in at number 3 is the only assault rifle to make it onto the list, the Flatline. The Flatline is the full auto version of the assault rifles that are in the game. You've also got the Hemlock and the R9001, I believe it's called. The Flatline is amazing. It's great at distance. It's also great at close range combat. You can see that we managed to take that guy out from quite a bit of a distance. We then decided to shred through his shield as well as his teammates. We just decided to let ours act as meat shields first. But you can see here, it's great close-up range. As long as you hit those shots, it hits for about 12 damage per pop, per bullet. But do take into mind that its fire rate is a lot higher than the other guns that are on this list. Hence why it is an assault rifle, because it's able to fire those large quick rounds. Now you can also equip a lot of attachments for it, such as extended mags, really good optics. You can get up to 4 times optics on these guys. You can also get really good stocks that will help your recoil be less of an impact during your gunfight. You can see here we managed to take out most of these enemies here. However, we just got overnumbered by too many of them. And look at the range on it. It's a great gun to use. That's with no attachments aside from the stock and the mag. But I would definitely recommend finding whatever attachments you can for the Flatline and using them, because it is such a great gun to use and you just can't go wrong with not using it. It's able to shred through most enemies and armor pretty quickly, especially if they're distracted by something else. You can easily just empty a whole ammo cartridge into them. So guys, that's why the Flatline comes in at number 3 on this list. Now, coming in at number 2 is probably my personal favorite weapon in the entire game, the G7 Scout. The G7 Scout is such a versatile weapon that you can use it for close range encounters, like you can see here, or you can use it for long range encounters. It acts as a sniper, it acts as a close range rifle. Either way, you can get some really good shots off with it. You can see the range that we're showing here, and like these hit for 30 damage each bullet, which is a crap ton of damage. You can see that just like that we managed to knock this guy down. He didn't even get a shot off on us at all, which is incredible. The G7 Scout is such a versatile weapon. Like I said, it can act as a sniper if you equipped the 8 times magnification scopes on it, or it can act as like your own personal little rifle if you equipped like the hollow optics or anything like that. But you can see here, we're dealing decent amounts of damage. We've got quite a lot of range on it. There is a slight bullet drop off with it, but that's nothing to really complain about because the damage output, the range, it all contributes to a much better factor. And it just, look at it, like look at that. We just destroy everyone at range. And if they get too close range to you, you still can use it in that close proximity. Granted, it's probably not going to have the same effect it would have if you were to use, say, the R99 or the Flatline, but it would still get the job done if you don't have any other weapons or your opponent's extremely inaccurate with their weapon. You know, I've had plenty of encounters with a G7 and close range enemies, and I have decimated them with the Scout rifle. It is such a great weapon and I could not recommend it anymore. So that's why it gets the number 2 spot. The only reason it didn't get the number 1 spot is because the number 1 weapon is used much more universally than the G7 Scout has. I've seen a lot more people killed with the weapon at number 1 than I've seen them killed with the G7 Scout. And just because it's my personal favorite doesn't mean it's going to make it onto number 1. So guys, let's move on to number 1 on this list. Now this next weapon isn't number 1, but it definitely deserves an honorable mention on this list. This is the R99, and it is a submachine gun that has a huge amount of power on it. It almost made it on the list. We were going to swap it out with the Prowler. However, the Prowler with the full auto attachment, in my opinion, just deals a lot more damage than this guy does. But you can see it is definitely still a viable weapon, and it still packs a huge punch regardless of what you use it against. You know, you can see here we just tore apart that player. Like, it was with a little help with the Hemlock, but he still took the brunt of the damage from the R99. And look, here's another player. Bam. Just like that, they're dead. The fire rate on these things is absolutely incredible. Now, mind you, those 2 kills were with no attachments. So, you know, if you've got extended mags, if you've got stocks on it, if you've got barrel stabilizers, that's only going to increase the potency of this weapon tenfold. Alright, and finally, the weapon coming in at number 1, you guys for sure should have seen this coming, is the Peacekeeper. The Peacekeeper is a weapon of mass destruction. It deals incredible amounts of damage. Like, I'm talking huge amounts. Nothing stands in the way of the Peacekeeper, and this is by far the weapon that I have seen kill people the most. It's ridiculous, especially if you get the barrel stabilizer attachment on it, which enables you to charge up your shots for a ranged attack. It makes it incredibly powerful. Now, a really cool thing about the shotgun is that it has the ability to equip the optics, the digital threat. Now, this digital threat is, well, you might think, well, it doesn't really provide any sort of boost to range or anything like that, but it does provide you access to heat signatures, which helps incredibly, especially when you've got players like Bangalore who can pop their smoke, even Caustic who can pop his toxic gas and prevent you from, you know, seeing where you're going or enemies. The Peacekeeper allows you to find enemies and shoot them, and it has saved me multiple times with this ability and the attachment. Now you can see here that we managed to take out that player, but this one sort of gets the best of us, but not before we give him a really solid beatdown with the taste of his own medicine. He was using a Peacekeeper, I was using a Peacekeeper, I was kind of already damaged and needed to reload. I reckon if I didn't need to do any of that sort of stuff, I definitely would have won the fight here. You can see here we just absolutely decimated that poor player. They did not stand a chance against us with their little machine gun. The Peacekeeper is just such a powerhouse of a weapon. The only downside to the Peacekeeper that I find is that it doesn't have the extended barrel, as well as that it's kind of like a pump action shotgun as well. Every shot you need to repump it in order to fire again, which can sometimes be a downfall, but that is what makes it so damn powerful. Look at this, bam, and just like that we become the champion. It's such a great gun, guys. I'd definitely give it a try if you haven't already. But other than that, we're going to wrap up the video here, so thank you very much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe down below for more, and don't forget to check out our other Apex Legends videos. So, see you later, guys.